Welcome back to Soul Outdoors. Today we're taking a look at the Stage Series C2 Diode Dynamics ditch lights. Say that 5 times fast. So if you remember from our last video, we did say we were going to get some ditch lights from Diode Dynamics, and here they are. They've been on the truck for a couple of months now. We kind of want to get a better feel for them, test them out a little bit before presenting them to you. So let's talk about what comes in the kit. Of course, you get the lights themselves, you get a vehicle-specific mounting bracket, and if you're not sure if they make one for your vehicle, if you don't have a Ranger like us, go to their website. They have a vehicle selector on there. You can filter it out, see if they have a direct fit kit for you. It comes with a wiring harness that is fully plug and play. Hook it up to your battery, hook it to the lights, flip a switch, bada bing, bada boom, turns on. Or you can use the included pigtails and just hook them into an existing system that you've already got, be it you're upgrading your existing lights or you've already got a switch panel and you just need a way to plug them in. Now it also comes with this really cool box that you can put on your shelf and just show off to all your friends that you've got some really cool lights. But enough about the accessories, let's talk about the lights themselves. There are a ton of options that you can choose from. We opted for the clear combo lens in the pro level to match our SS3 fog lights. These also have a white backlight. You have several different options to choose from on that. With the clear lens, you can either get white, blue, red, and amber, I believe. Or if you get an amber lens, you can only get a amber backlight. Those are actuated on a different circuit, so you can turn on the backlight and have them as sort of a dust light when it's really dusty out or foggy and you're driving with a group of people and you just want to be seen without blinding them with the actual lights themselves. You can turn those on, and if you don't have these on as ditch lights and you just have them as running lights on the back, you can also flip those on and off as you choose. So like I said before, these are the pro level of these lights. You can also get them in a sport level. Pros put out about 2,000 lumens worth of light at 25 watts. That is a lot of power to go to just 2 LEDs. To put that in perspective, our SS3 fog lights put out a whopping 3,000 lumens at 36 watts. So that is a lot of power that you're sending to these tiny little lights. If you don't need that much light, if you don't want to suck up that much power, you can get the Sports, which only put out 870 lumens at a measly 7 watts. So our editor just pointed out something that is actually a really good idea. If you wanted to get the lower power lights, they would actually work fantastically as work lights going either off the side or the back of the truck. So you don't have these really, really powerful, really bright lights. You could put on the flood pattern and the lower light output, not blind yourself and your friends while you're at the campsite. I mean, that's a wonderful use case. I really like that. Now, while I'm talking about beam patterns, there are several you can choose from. They've got fog, they've got spot, they've got combo. I'm reading off the back of the box over here. High beam / driving lights. I think I said fog already. But tons of different options to choose from. And of course, just like on the SS3s, you can buy those lenses separately from this kit. So if you buy one and you decide you really needed something a little bit more tight, you needed something a little bit more wide, you can go and swap those out for the low, low price of whatever it says on the website. Enough about their lenses. Let's see what's actually behind the scenes here. So it's a very nice aluminum constructed housing. Even the cover is aluminum. Nice little gasket that goes around, O-ring style. Now we did have a little bit of moisture in ours after a couple of hard driving rains, but I'm not too worried about that. Same 8-year warranty as on the SS3s. So you don't really have to worry about any manufacturer defects, at least for the next decade. Hey, if you're anything like me, you won't have that truck in 8 years. So upside, as you can see, only 2 LEDs feeding almost 2,000 lumens. I mean, that is wild, and tiny little chips too. You can also see they've got the little backlight chips all the way around the rim of it to light up the lens itself. But yeah, so these are, it was 26 watts, 25 watts going through these. And if you look at those cooling fins, I 100% believe that. They're at least expecting that much power to go through that. I've seen computers with less stout cooling than that. Pretty impressed. They do get a little warm after running them, but as long as you're driving, they stay nice and chilly. I haven't had any issues with them overheating whatsoever. Only issue I had, like I said, was the little bit of moisture in there, but they still work, and I'm not too worried about it. With the 8-year warranty, I can just send them in if there's any issues that arise. So yeah, I mean, pretty nice little setup. I did want to show the size difference between the SS3 and the SSC2s. I didn't feel like taking them off my truck, so I've got the lenses here as a quick comparison. Pretty much about half the size of the SS3s. I find that looks a lot better on the hood as a ditch light. The old SS3s, while you can still get that ditch light bracket for the SS3s, I really do think the slimline way the slimline is the way to go, purely for aesthetics, and you don't need that much brightness coming off your hood. I was actually on the way back from a road trip recently where we were running these combo lights in white, and it was so humid that when we turned them on, I was actually getting blinded by the air. So keep that in mind. If I were to do this again, I probably would get amber just because of that bounce back. We get a lot of humidity down here, and I just don't really care to be blinded while I'm going down the road. Plus, I think it looked better with our amber fog lights. Speaking of getting blinded, let's talk about how you aim these. Now, from the factory, Diode Dynamics does have a little bit of adjustment in their bracket. This is the Ford Ranger one, obviously, but you can see we got it a little bit mashed up during the install. That's because they actually go on with these little carriage bolts, and the bolts themselves, the square part, is longer than this bracket. The bracket foot is thick. So you get a little bit of that square bottom poking through and pretty much forces these to aim straight down the road, straight forward. So if you're not looking to get that, if you're looking to get the fog pattern, I don't know if it's because we got the combo light that it's like this, but I'm thinking it's not. If you did need to aim them a little bit more outboard, you can just stick, we found that a thick-ish washer, this is a kind of, I guess it's skinny for how big the hole is. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You can see what we're dealing with here. We stuck this between the foot of the light bracket itself and the top of the actual hood bracket. And then we were able to pretty much do the full 180-degree swivel. But we found through some testing we did in the woods, do a little bit of roll here. So we tested it at straight ahead, at 15 degrees out, and at 30 degrees out from parallel. We actually really liked having them about 15 degrees spread out when we were looking for offshoots, like we were looking for the next turn on the trail. This, of course, only applies for if you're in a tighter wood area, or you're just trying to look for something off the road. We actually found on the way back from our trip that we wanted them more forward, and that's mainly because of the pattern of these lights. Really, they're spotty, but they still light up a little bit to the sides, not as much as a floodlight or a fog light would, but we did find ourselves wanting to see further down the road when we were on long stretches going at a high rate of speed, and wanting to see further to the sides when we were on the trail. So it's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. You're just gonna have to play with it when you get your hands on them. Not quite sure what our next move is gonna be with these. Probably gonna try to do a flood or a fog pattern in yellow and just kind of see if we continue to use the combos or not. So another accessory that you can get for these might actually be mandatory in your area, so make sure you check your local regulations, but they do sell full-on covers for these lights. So if your area requires to have any auxiliary lighting above a certain height or a certain brightness, you can get these. They just snap on, and they look actually pretty dang good. Do a good job of protecting from rock chips, and they're pretty affordable. I think at the time of filming, these were like maybe 10 bucks a pop. I'll put a price on the screen. Also, another thing you can get is a different color lens cap. So you can get either a clear or a yellow lens cap. So if you've got white lights like us and you want for just a short amount of time to have them yellow, and you don't want to swap out the entire lens or invest in getting another lens, you could just get one of these lens caps and voila, it's yellow now. It's not the same color as their amber lights, I will say that. We've got the amber ones for our fogs, and these are 100% yellow, not amber. So just be aware of that. So if you want to pick up any of what you just saw, you can check out the links in the description below. Make sure you check out the video where we go in depth on the SS3s themselves. And if you want to see a direct comparison between the SSC2s and the SS3s, both at the pro level, let's see if we can get 500 likes on this video. If you want to see that, hit the like button. If we hit 500, I'll go out to the woods tomorrow, the next day, the day it hits 500. I'll go out there, film it, and post it for everyone to make their own conclusions about these. But in the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.